All right. Welcome to the Start to Be... All right. Welcome to the Start to Be Great podcast. I'm your co-host, Kimmy.
And I'm Anna. If you are like us and sick of using fear as an excuse to not truly live your life, then you're in the right spot. We are here to tell you that you don't have to be great to start, but you do have to
start to be great. So what are we talking about today? Today we are talking about body image. We're going to discuss body issues, body dysmorphia, and I want to share some tips on how you can be kinder to yourself and improve your overall opinion about yourself.
Yeah.
So we all have issues, right? We all have things we don't like about ourselves. One of the main concerns for most people, I would say, is probably about weight, right? Body weight.
Yeah.
And so we, if you saw our teaser on our Instagram yesterday, it was us getting some massive milkshakes.
Oh God. It was bad.
Yeah. So we went to the yard and we were trying to make the point that it's okay in moderation to enjoy splurges. And yeah.
You know what? I don't even know. That wasn't even the main reason we did it. We did it because the entire time we've known each other, you have been on prep. And I have been doing 75 hard, basically, on and off. Or like, we've never both been in a spot where we were like, yeah, I can go have a milkshake and not hate myself.
Yeah.
And so that was one of the things that we were like, we're going to do this when we both are in this spot. We're going to, like, we literally made plans to have drinks together for the first time, eat at a restaurant. We have a plan to go have breakfast at a restaurant. Yeah. And we wanted to have these milkshakes. So we're like, let's do the milkshake one for the body.
We waited a year to eat crap together. How did it turn out?
I almost threw up. It was real bad. I literally went home and had an anti-nausea pill and went to bed at 10 because I hated myself. Like, physically, I was in pain. I was like, we tried to go get food afterwards and I like couldn't eat. I bought food, I took a bite and I was like,
yeah,
not good.
Yeah, it wasn't good, but we had fun.
And we have jars.
We have jars. We went to the yard. They have these fancy milkshakes that have these like decadent tops with like, you had a chocolate covered s'more and mine had like a cookie sandwich with 2 cookies and frosting.
Yours looked better.
I didn't even know the calorie count. We didn't look it up. We were going to, but we didn't look up the calorie count. I don't want to know.
Easily, okay. Like, I would say like 1,200 probably, right? Like at least like 1,000 calories.
Oh, easy. You know, it's fine.
Which is funny because that's so normal. Like, there was a lot of overweight people there that night when we were getting our milkshakes and like ice cream. And, you know, we're doing it and we're like, I don't know what I want because like it's a treat. And I'm like,
and now we don't want them ever again.
Seriously, I don't want one ever again.
No, I'm good. But it was really fun. It was a good memory for sure.
Yeah.
So we want to get right into it. Talk about body image and body dysmorphia.
Yeah. So I wanted to start by talking about why this was like one of the leading topics when you got back from going home because you were going to do a bodybuilding show and then you were all of a sudden not going to do a bodybuilding show and then you're like, I'm taking 2 weeks off, I'm getting the fuck out of town and I'll be back. And I was like, cool man, do you. And you got back and you're like, Anna, we need to do a podcast. And I was like, fuck yes. And so this was one of the things that you were super hyped on talking about, that post you made.
Yeah. So you guys, I'm going to get pretty passionate in this one just because this is something really dear to me. It's something that I'm really working on mentally for myself right now, is improving my overall body image, improving how I talk to myself, how I think about myself. Yeah. So like you said, I was in prep for a bodybuilding show. I'd been doing some shows back to back and my body wasn't really responding this time. I was following my diet and following the cardio plan, and my mental health wasn't really there for this one. And I could tell that I was pushing as hard as I could, but my body just wasn't responding. But honestly, this one I don't know. There was so many factors, external factors that were affecting this prep that it was good that I pulled from it. But yeah,
I agree.
When I pulled from it and I went home for 2 weeks, and that's a whole nother story. But I posted something on my fitness Instagram. It was a video from my first bodybuilding show. Dude, it was the night before my show, and it's me just completely losing my fucking shit.
That was the night before your show.
It was the night before my show, my very first show. I was doing my posing, I was checking in with my coach, and it was just this video of me actually breaking down because I wanted to pull for my show. I did not like how I looked. I didn't think I was coming in. I thought I looked horrible. I hated myself. I hated the prep. I hated everything about it. I was breaking down. And
you could see it in your face.
Yeah,
like,
so if you want to see it, go to kimmy.fit on Instagram. It's me at my first show.
It's rough. Like,
Yeah.
I've never competed, but like I felt like all of the emotions you just described, I felt that like in your face. I was like, oh,
yeah.
brutal.
So I talk about how I was feeling that night and how mainly it just goes to show like you can feel horrible at yourself. I won the next day. I won the overall at that show the next day, and I wanted to pull. Luckily, I had an amazing coach, Brandon Cooper, and an amazing posing coach, Ashley Jones, who FaceTimed me and basically slapped the shit out of me over the phone and been like, girl, you've gone so far to only go this far. What the hell are you doing? Yeah. You know, so I pulled myself together and I competed the next day, and I'm so happy I did. I mean, it changed my life. Yeah. But the feelings that I was feeling, those are so deep rooted. They're so ingrained in us because how you talk to yourself every single day affects you, and sometimes you don't even notice that you're having these thoughts. And so that video was really important, and I got so much feedback from that video. A lot of people said they resonated with it. A lot of people reached out to me saying, hey, you need to talk more about this. We want to hear about this. Like, I feel this so deeply. Please continue to do that. And I'm like, what's a better way to do that than to, bullshit with my best friend about stuff we want to talk about. Yeah. And so that's what we're doing. So today we're going to talk about it. We are going to talk about it.
You know what I think is interesting is, when we're talking about body image, it's so much, not even just in bodybuilding, but in anything, it's so much more mental than it is physical. Mm-hmm. Like, it appears to be physical, like it's your physical body. So you're like, oh no, it's just like how I look and feel like physically. But like doing 75 hard taught me that too. Like, that is like, the main program is not like crazy challenging if you're already pretty, consistent with certain things. But like phase 1 kicked my ass. That was a huge physical challenge, but it was more mental than it was. And like, I wouldn't have, if I hadn't have done the first part, like I wouldn't have made it. So had you not had like that strict, like consistent schedule of like making yourself do all the hard work of prep, you wouldn't have pulled yourself out, because you also like made yourself stronger doing that. It's just, it's man, I don't know. It's very, very deep.
Yeah,
many facets.
I've had a lot of deep comments with a lot of people, and my background with bodybuilding, that's kind of where I, spend most of my time. So that's the references I keep making. But I've talked to a lot of people about body image and themselves, and what's crazy is we all feel it all the time. All of us are all having these emotions. Whether I am 2 weeks out, have a full-on six-pack, I'm looking at myself in the mirror and I'm like picking myself apart immediately. I'm like, you fat fuck. And it's like, okay, I am shredded to the bone, and I feel these feelings. I'm out, I'm not bodybuilding currently, I'm just living. And I'm like, man, I'm really trying to.
I know, you're drinking wine. We had some cheese and crackers.
Yes, living like a normal life.
Yeah.
And I'm like, constantly like avoiding mirrors. I'm not wanting to talk about it. I don't like the way that I look, but it's not even just like my weight. It's I'm not super happy with how I'm feeling about lots of facets about my life, because I keep stemming back to I don't really like myself right now. Like, it's like there's so much that goes into body image. It's not just physical appearance. It's way past that, and we all feel it. All bodybuilders, all the way down to, you were talking about Summer the other day.
Yeah. Well, that's one of the reasons why I was so intrigued when you were like, let's talk about body image. And I'm like, yeah, because, I have a 16-year-old that wants to be on Instagram and sees all these people and they're using filters. I know this. And she's like, no, they're not. And I'm like, 100% yes. And also, like, they're like, there's angles and posing and like just Photoshop, there's so many things, and they are only showing like the highlight reel, right? We've seen that, we've heard that before. Like, that's a real thing. Like, people don't post what they look like without makeup, or like on the days that they don't want to go to the gym, they look like shit. People don't share that because it's not pretty to look at. And Instagram is literally like click dopamine, fucking, you know, scroll, click, like, just like it. It worries me that, like, you know, she wants to be, like, see all that. And I don't think that if you don't build up enough self-confidence and you don't have that awareness, it's, like, scary, because it's like a deep web, and I don't know how you can get out of it. Like, we didn't grow up with that social media.
They've done a lot of scientific studies recently about how it's affecting, like, dopamine receptors, and how, like, kids are developing.
Yeah.
Like, social media being, like, so ingrained from, like, crucial development stages in adolescence.
I know.
Like, it's kind of scary.
It really is. I mean, what I've told Summer before, and I'll tell other people, is Steve Jobs, the creator of Apple, literally didn't let his own children have iPads and iPhones because he knew how addictive they were. That's not even talking about the social media aspect, but, like, that they do the same kind of studies on that too. Like, it's addicting. I can say that I've been addicted, where, like, I'm like, how much time did I spend on my phone?
Yeah.
Don't look at the screen time on my phone. It's bad.
Yeah.
But yeah.
But I would say there are also really good sources on social media about improving body positivity. There was one, her name's Maddie Forberg. I would follow her on Instagram. She's hilarious. She did this video a few weeks ago, and it was like, if you're not feeling cute today, just look at yourself in the mirror and say, hey, punk, you're cute. And I was like, you know what? Like, I know it's stupid. I know it feels silly, but, like, just the words you put out there, even about yourself, like, if you're only talking to yourself, like, they still matter. So if you're saying negative crap about yourself, that's how you're going to feel about yourself. If you're saying, like, even if you don't feel it, if you fake it till you make it, right? Say, hey, punk, you're cute. And then you look at yourself in the mirror and you're thinking, you're cute. You're probably going to feel a little bit better.
Yeah. The affirmations, so that's part of phase 1 of 75 Hard, is, well, it's not verbatim, but, like, that's part of it, is visualizing your future, and you have to, like, say in your mind, like, what it looks like, but you're not there yet. It's the same concept, basically, but those words are powerful, and, like, visioning that is powerful, and saying it out loud is probably more powerful than thinking it, for sure. I like that you just said fake it till you make it. I hate it. So people, no, I love that phrase.
Yeah.
People want to talk shit about it, and they're like, it's not fake it till you make it. It's show up and do the work. And it's like, you're not understanding. It's fake it till you make it means that you're still going to do the work, but you're not going to feel like doing the work. And you're going to fake like you fucking got it together.
Yeah.
And, you know, you have your core people that probably know that you don't. Like, I confess to you when I feel like shit or whatever, but, like, I don't need to tell everybody else that.
They don't need to know.
And like, it doesn't matter. Like, I can tell people, it doesn't matter, but, like, I will feel more confident in myself if I'm pretending that I'm fucking doing the shit that I need to do, and I'm aligning myself. The actions are matching that. So
when you were getting advice on interviews and stuff, did they tell you to do the power pose, like the Superwoman pose?
Yeah.
I do it often when I'm feeling insecure.
The Superwoman pose. You wear red. You stand up tall. Like, you take deep breaths. You smile. You know what my mom used to always say?
What?
She would say,
I'm gonna keep doing this.
Smile. That's all. She would just, like, if you ever were, like, doubting anything, she would say smile. Because smiles are infectious, they're contagious, whatever you want to say. And you feel happier when you smile. They've actually, like, done studies on that, haven't they? Like,
oh yeah, like, it's just like the physical act of, like, the muscles engaged in your face to make a smile. To make a smile, like, changes, like, your brain chemistry.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, since we're talking about advice on how to be better, should we get into recommendations on how improving body image?
Yeah, we should, because you got some good stuff on that.
I do. So, like I said, I've been on this active journey right now to improve my mental health, to improve my self-body image, because we're all at fault of talking shit about ourselves, right?
And on a constant journey of figuring it out and growing, like, literally gonna feel good one day and not the next.
Every single day you have to practice this. So I've put together a list of things that I have been doing and actively working on to help myself improve my body image. And the first thing I want to talk about is identify and challenge the negative thoughts that you're having, right? So you can actively, like, tell when you're like, man, I look fat today. You said that out loud. But do you recognize all the time the thoughts you're having about yourself? Like, that's what's crazy. The first step in overcoming a negative body image is to become aware of the negative thoughts you're having, how you talk to yourself, even in your own brain. It affects you on a daily basis.
I don't think I pay attention to it.
Yeah.
I bet you if I like started to, because I don't think
They're automatic.
I don't think I verbally like talk shit about myself. I might every once in a while. I think I'm pretty good at not.
Oh, I do. I am the meanest to myself.
Yeah.
I'm very nice to everyone around me, and I care very much about every person in my life. And I won't let them talk shit about themselves. But honestly, when I look at myself in the mirror, I would not be a friend to myself. Like, I would not be friends with myself.
That's not good.
I know, that's what we're working on. So it's like, when you look in the mirror, what do you say to yourself? When you see pictures of yourself, do you immediately, like, what do you look like? If you see a picture of yourself, what do you start picking apart? Because you know there's stuff. You're like, oh, I have a good side of my face, and I have a bad side of my face, and I really only want this side of my face seen.
We both have the...
We do. She won this argument. If you're watching this on YouTube, I am constantly turning this way because this is my good side. But it's fine. I like this side of my face too. Do I? It's fine. It's like when I see a picture of myself, I'm constantly looking like, oh, is my hair parted the right way that I like? Or am I turned the right way I like? Or am I smiling the way that I've practiced a million times in the mirror? Like, it's crazy what we do. But it's like, identify the negative thoughts you're having, or the things that you automatically look for that are negative, and challenge them.
Yeah, like I had a friend once that every time that we took pictures, she'd be like, my arm looks bad in that. I'm like, okay. She'd want to literally like retake the picture. And I'm like, dude, then fucking work out your arms if you don't like your arms, but also like stop talking shit about yourself.
Because words are power. And I think that's when the daily affirmations come in. I know they're silly. My mom tells me all the time.
They're not silly.
No, but I think they're silly. But my mom tells me all the time, speak positivity into existence, right? Look at yourself in the mirror and say 3 things you like about yourself, right? And it's like, that's so silly, but it's like creating habits. I'm really big into habits and thinking that habits are important because
habits do everything.
They create your life. If you have bad habits, you're going to do those every day, and that's going to be the outcome of your life. If you have good habits, you're going to be a slave to those habits. So might as well be slave to the good habits, right? So if you have affirmations, thoughts become words, words become actions, and actions become who you are. So if you're thinking nasty thoughts about yourself, you're likely to talk shit about yourself, and that's likely how you're going to think about yourself and feel. You know, you're going to be like, if you say you're fat a million times, regardless of if you're fat, you're going to feel fat.
Now, on that topic, what is your opinion? This is like really random, but what is your opinion about, like, so I wrote this down, cheat meal. So the word, the word cheat implies that it's wrong. Yeah. That you're doing something that you shouldn't be doing. So like, I mean, I started using it because it's just popular to like say it. But I'm like, why is this a cheat meal? My cheat meal is literally like going to a restaurant and still getting like chicken maybe like well, not rice maybe, but like maybe like chicken piccata at an Italian restaurant with like a glass of wine would be like a cheat meal. So in bodybuilding, we call those refeeds. Yes. Because that's important. But you are refueling your body. But we call them cheat meals, right? But then cheat meals turn into cheat days, and you get in that mindset of, oh, well, you know, I had fucking pancakes for breakfast, might as well have this pizza for lunch, and oh, the day's already ruined, fuck it, let's chicken wings for dinner, let's do ice cream to finish, you know? It's wine. Cheat meals come into cheat days, and it's like, no, like, you're refueling your body, use those calories, think of the food in the same way as you're thinking about yourself. Like, we're trying to improve our body image, we're trying to improve our thoughts towards food. I am, at least, because I have kind of a bad relationship with food right now, and I'm fixing it. Yeah, I think we should make like a new term so it's not, because like I don't know what the average. I don't like the word cheat. Because like literally, when I think of word cheating, I think of cheating on like your partner, which is never good. Never okay. So that's like it's like it makes a cheat sound horrible. So how are we challenging ourselves? If we're identifying the negative thoughts and challenging, how do you challenge yourself? And I've asked myself this question, and it's like, I ask myself, are the thoughts that I'm having about myself fact or opinion, right? Do I have a six-pack? No, that's okay. But, you know, like, it's also like a thing about, like, is my hair color pretty? That's an opinion. Yeah. You know? Like, are my thoughts fact or opinion? Are my views realistic? And when I start to think objectively about these thoughts that I'm having, is it easy to see that they're false or unreasonable? Or is that line kind of blurred? Like, it's like,
What?
Do you have an example?
Like, let me think. So, thinking objectively, right? I think that my hair is ugly, right? Today. Well, my hair is frizzy today. And it's like, is that a factor in opinion? Well, that's an opinion, obviously. Thinking objectively, like, why do I think my hair is frizzy today? Because it's not, like, laying in the exact way that I want it to. Or do I, like, have I heard other people talk about their hair like it's frizzy? And so now I'm like, oh, well, my hair isn't, like, laying perfectly. So now, like, my hair could look completely fine.
It probably looks the same way that it does every day.
Yeah,
But today you think it looks frizzy.
Yeah, so it's just challenge the negative thoughts and try to think, oh, well, you know, my hair's longer than it was yesterday, and I'm actively trying to grow out my hair, so it's longer, which means it's better, or shorter, or whatever, you know, whatever.
Yeah.
You know, it's just actively, like, challenge the thoughts that you're having.
I have never thought about that, like thinking about whether it's an opinion or fact. Because
your facts are, right? I weigh 185 pounds. Last week I weighed 180. I gained 5 pounds. I don't like that. What am I going to do to change it? Or vice versa. I've been losing weight, but I don't feel great about myself. But I can see that the scale's going down, or I can see that I've lost inches, or like that. That's a fact. Whereas an opinion would be more like, I look fat. Well, what's fat?
right.
What looks fat? Are you obese? Well,
fat to who?
we were just talking about BMI, right? Like the BMI, like I'm obese on the BMI scale, right? Because I'm 5'9" and I'm currently weigh 185 pounds. I'm obese. I'm not. Obviously not, you know? So it's a process. But I want to move on. The second thing I want you to do, so after you identify and challenge those negative thoughts, I want you to recognize the underlying motivation for that criticism. Are you actually upset with the way that you look, or are there reasons and factors outside in your daily life that are making you feel like you're out of control and you're placing that blame on yourself on how you look, right? Do you actually want to be thinner, or do you want to regain control over like something that's happening in your life? You know, do you actually dislike your hair, or did you remember somebody making fun of a girl with short hair and you're like, oh, I need to have long hair and my hair is like shorter now and I don't like it? Like, do you actually not like your hair?
Yeah.
Or is there like an underlying motivation for that's the reason that you feel that way?
I feel like one of the biggest things that I can, and tell me if I'm wrong on this, but like the fucking... This is why we can't have nice stuff.
I know, I need to stop playing with the pen.
I don't know if you saw that, but she just flung her pen everywhere. Do you remember like back in the aerobics times when like the women were like all tiny and little, right? And it was trending, and like that's what you did. And now it's like it's cool to be jacked, but also like you have to have big legs and you have to have a big ass.
Thick.
Yeah, thick with 2 C's, right?
2 C's.
But like, I mean, you know, I got a teenager that like says all she wants to do is train her legs, and I'm like, bro,
you need overall muscle mass.
like I want you to be able to lift that bag of rice up in the top shelf. Okay.
I am personally vain about women with large upper bodies. I find it very attractive. So I don't like.
That's why she likes me.
Yeah.
See,
This is why you should watch on YouTube. You get to see all this extras.
shenanigans.
But yeah.
But yeah, I think that's kind of like the same thing. Like, do you really want thicker legs and a bigger butt, or do you just want it because you think other people value it because they will find you attractive? Like, do you know that you'll have to buy all brand new clothes?
Yeah.
Because you won't fit anything? Do you know that you're gonna have to work hard and like eat a fuck ton of food to grow? Like, is that like really your goal, or? And
are you okay with gaining weight in other areas to gain mass in your legs?
Yeah. And
then have to cut, because you're not just gonna put mass on your legs and in your ass.
I know.
Without putting on other body fat. Like, you're not going to. Like, you have to be in a caloric excess. Like, it's going to change your overall body composition.
Yeah.
So just recognize that there might be underlying motivation for why you feel the way you do, you know, and just challenge that as well. The next thing is, like I said, like, do you actually not like your hair, or was somebody not liking their hair? And so that's why you're like, oh, I don't like my hair. Like, that's the next thing is surround yourself with body positive people.
Yeah.
Because if you're constantly around people that are talking shit about themselves, what are you going to do? You're probably going to talk shit about yourself.
Yeah.
Because if somebody's like, man, I look so fat today, you're going to be like, well, look at my shoulders, I look jacked. You know, like you're not going to do that.
Right.
You know, you're going to be like, oh, and start immediately looking for something you don't like about yourself.
Yeah, victim culture, victim mentality. Like, you don't want to be the only one being like, I'm hot shit, and then everyone else is like, I hate myself.
And then they're going to be like, oh, you conceited asshole. And it's like, no, I'm just being kind to myself.
I'm just loving on myself and appreciating my body for what I fucking put into it.
Another thing I wanted to talk about with this concept is my mom brought this up, and she was like,
yeah,
I realized that I was talking shit about myself when you were 3 years old, and you said, Mom, I'm fat, as a 3-year-old. And she was like, the only way you could have heard that is I said that. And so it made her take a step back and realize that she wasn't talking good about herself, and it was actively affecting a very impressionable youth. Like me at 3 should not be worried about my weight.
No.
Yeah.
A 3-year-old doesn't even know what it means to say that they're fat. Like, that's not a concept that their brains can wrap their minds around.
Yeah. So surround yourself with body positive people, but also recognize if you are somebody that's body positive and see who you are affecting around you.
You mean if you're negative?
Yeah. If you're negative, constantly talking shit about yourself, who's watching?
Yeah.
Who's listening to you talk shit about yourself, and are they then affected by that?
Yeah, and that's not just like, I mean, I definitely think about that because I have a female teenager that lives with me, so like that girl sees everything I do. I just broke my pen cap. I'm gonna stop.
I'm doing the same thing.
But I know that like in my friend group, I look up to certain people, and I don't like verbally tell them that necessarily. I mean, I might like say cool things about them, but like that just means that there's probably people that look up to me that like don't say the same thing to me. And so if they see me doing that shit, I don't want to lead them in the wrong way.
Exactly. And
So-
like you said it yourself, like if people see us in the gym, and we're pretty consistent in the gym, right? We look like we know what we're doing most of the time. I mean, we fuck around a lot. But like from somebody that's new in the gym, we pretty much have a plan when we walk in, and we execute that plan.
Yeah.
And people probably think, oh man, they know their shit, they know what they're doing. But we still have all these insecurities about what we're doing and how we look like, and we're looking in the mirror and seeing stuff. But people look at us and be like, damn, she's been in the gym for years. Like obviously, like her body shows it. But it's like, even though they feel like that towards us and we feel a certain way, like where is that skewed? Where's that line skewed?
Yeah. Well, I think it's also a fine line because when you're competitive, you need to be honest and critical enough to push yourself harder. Like if you know, like I don't know how I feel about the body positivity movement. I think is it gonna record our voice still? Do we need to start over with the phone? I think it did.
Does it just die?
Technical difficulties.
Excuse?
Stand by. Someone didn't charge their laptop. That's someone's name, Kimmy.
All right.
All right. I'm gonna put it on the wine glass. Nice.
You don't have to start. You don't have to be great to start, but you gotta start to be great. Check 1, 2.
All right. So, the body positivity movement kind of implies that you should just love yourself no matter what, right? But it's like,
And you should, to a degree. You
yes. But
Love yourself
if you
always.
love yourself, then you should always want to be the best version of yourself, which means never stop growing. And that's why I don't like, because the body positivity movement starts with love yourself and then it's a period. Whereas it should be love yourself, but keep trying to fucking be better. Don't stop here. Like this is not where you are, you're not done.
Yeah.
And so that's where I don't like it. Like I get the concept, but it's kind of frustrating.
Yeah, I'm never okay with how I am. Like even like through this journey of bettering myself and bettering my mental health, I recognize that even in my healthiest mental health, I am not going to be okay ever how I am, because that's just, I'm obsessed with getting better.
Yeah.
Like again, pulling into bodybuilding, like you could win your show, but you can always be bigger, you can always have better shape, you can always have better posing, you can always have more striations, you can always be leaner, you can always have better stage presence, the list is endless.
Yeah.
There's always bettering yourself. And I think you should always be bettering yourself, but recognize the value of what you currently have.
Yeah. Yeah, there's a fine line.
Yeah.
Like, you have to find the fine line. And, like, when you are recognizing that yourself in not necessarily a sport, but in, like, daily life, that I think that people don't realize that every single person has the opportunity to be a leader to someone else. If everyone on this planet took on a leadership role and just said, hey, you know what, I'm gonna make sure that one person looks up to me and, like, follows me. And if you could just do the best that you can to be the best version of yourself so that that person sees you and follows suit, that would be great. And so you need to evaluate and just be aware of that, like, especially when you're talking shit about yourself, or like, just pay attention to that.
I think that's a good one into my next advice. My next advice is to avoid comparisons. That's a big one. Like, of course you're gonna look up to other people. You're gonna have motivation. You're gonna have inspiration with the people around you and people online and people, like, whatever, whoever your motivation is. But it's important not to compare yourself because it's unrealistic.
Right, like going back to all the filters and the highlight reel, like, the shit's bogus.
Yeah, and challenge the social media, you know, like we talk a lot about social media, but challenge the social media portrayals of what's beautiful. You know.
Oh yeah. And it's super weird. Like, okay, I don't know why, and, you know, just keep in mind, this is not a PC show. I don't really give a fuck if you don't like what I'm gonna say. Fair enough. Okay.
I'm a little scared.
Okay, well, I saw the Victoria's Secret thing, like, last week.
The Victoria's Secret thing.
So basically, I don't know if it's, like, officially that they're not doing Victoria's Secret, like, fashion models anymore. They're doing, it's like the body positivity type models. So it's like large women that do not ever probably exercise. And I'm not saying that large women can't exercise. I'm saying that these women just particularly, like, they don't look like they are doing any kind of exercise. A lot of humans in the world don't exercise. Yeah, like, they just don't move their body. Like, you can be large and still be, like, taut. You know, if you're just jiggly fat, then you're not moving. You're not healthy. I know that's brutal. No one wants to hear that. It is what it is. But I saw a fucking thing on Victoria's Secret, and it's, so they're not doing, like, I don't know if they're not doing the fashion show anymore, but all the models, all of them, got swapped out for, like, average looking women. And it's like, it's weird. Oh my God, take this pen away from me. It's weird because on one hand, it's like, first of all, Victoria's Secret fashion models are not healthy. We'll just start with that. Like, they're tall, thin. Probably no. Those women, like, starve themselves. Like, come on. Like,
I feel like some people are naturally thin, but it's very, very very rare.
Sure, I believe that. But I'm just saying, like, it's possible that they are, like, that those women. Although I think most people can recognize that they're beautiful, that is unattainable for the average person. So it's like, I get that can be frustrating to people, but at the same time, it's almost like you should be, like, you want to have a goal to, like, look up to and strive to be like. So it's like, I don't look at, like, high school athletes and be like, I want to be like that. Like, nah, I want to be like the fucking professionals, the ones that train and have worked years and put in time. And so, like, obviously there's a difference between, like, a woman who can put on sexy lingerie and, like, walk on the stage in heels. But point is like, it's just weird that, and it's weird because you have the body positivity movement on one side, and then you have, like, this fake shit on Instagram. So it's like, you're like, oh yeah, be fat, love yourself, and don't worry about what anyone else says, and just love how you are, and don't work harder to be anything better. And then on the other side, it's like, oh no, be perfect and be fake. And it's like, how are you supposed to navigate that and, like, find what's real?
Yeah, especially if you're, like, impressionable, like you're like young impressionable youth, or just myself. Like, I'm affected all the time. Like, all this advice that I'm giving you is stuff that I actively, like, work towards every single day. Like, it's a practice every single day. And I think it's important to just recognize.
Yeah. And, you know, I just want to say a small little comment here. I am very passionate like about physical health because I worked at a hospital. And I was only an X-ray tech for 7 years, but like working downtown Seattle and then coming to Texas, so many patients are obese. So many patients could not like physically bend down and tie their own shoes at like age 50.
Yeah.
And it's like, that's self-inflicted.
Yeah.
And now granted, sure, some people have to, I'm not like talking about that person. That's not really like the majority of the people I'm talking about. Like if you have an injury you're dealing with or whatever, you can still fucking figure it out. I know people with missing limbs that fucking work harder than a lot of people. But that's why I care so much about being healthy.
Yeah, you said your motivation. I saw your post the other time, or like, I don't know if it was a post or something you said to me, but you were like, yes, of course I want to look good right now. That's a motivation to work out. That's a motivation to eat healthy and do things that I'm doing. But your motivation past that was you want to be able to walk and be like, have just a normal life when you're elderly.
Dude, I don't want to ever make Summer have to take care of me or put me in a nursing home. I don't want her to have to like take care of me.
It's your freedom in the future.
I want to be independent until the day I die. That is my goal.
Yep.
I don't want to have to rely on people. I've watched elderly people become like dependent on healthcare and like, you know, in-home nursing and all this stuff. And sometimes they're not even that old and they're like stuck to their bed or house. And I'm like,
yeah,
that sounds terrible.
I worked at Walmart Pharmacy for a year, and the amount of prescriptions you have to get that stack on each other when you have more health problems, when your weight goes up, or you're not just talking about weight. I know that's like a lot of like body image issues are overweight, so that's what we're talking about a lot. But it's just you have like a lot of health concerns that stack on top of it.
Well, that's the thing is that's I think why people. That's why it frustrates me, the body positivity movement. That's why I got into all that, is because they're so accepting of it, but like literally being overweight leads to so many health issues. That's why I fucking care about it. I don't care if you feel beautiful and you're obese. Not you obese, but like actual obese. That's great. Love your fucking body.
Yeah.
Cool. Like love who you are.
Yeah.
But like recognize that your lifespan is gonna be short.
Yeah.
I mean, facts.
Yeah.
Not opinion. Like.
Yeah. The last thing I wanted to bring up, the last tip of things you can do to help increase your body positivity, is to recognize the traits that aren't physical about yourself. Recognize what your body does for you as a whole, or anything that you like about yourself that has nothing to do with physical attributes at all. You know, like what we were going to talk about, I'm switching currently, just figuring it out. I'm switching from bodybuilding to CrossFit.
Yeah, you are.
Cue all of the making fun of me. Okay, I don't care. You know,
I do it
like
every day.
Everybody does every day. And the thing is, that's fine. I keep going because I'm drinking the Kool-Aid. I freaking love CrossFit right now. And the reason I love it so much is, and I'm not talking shit about bodybuilding. I want to say that. I'm not talking shit about bodybuilding. But bodybuilding, in its essence as a sport, is about aesthetics. What you do.
Yeah.
You look like this, and you are base. You are going to stand on that stage in a sparkly bikini, and you are going to move in a way that makes you look the best. And they are going to judge you solely on your appearance. That is the essence of the sport. Do you look better than the person next to you?
Yeah.
Whereas CrossFit is all about performance.
Yeah.
It's all about athletic performance. And right now, where the state of my current mental health is, I need that. I need to figure out. I want to look at my body and be like, wow, my body is healthy, and it did this for me today, and it did this for me today, and it has nothing to do with how it looks. Of course, that's gonna fall in line with it. Like if you work out hard and you're doing these awesome workouts and you're burning these calories and you're moving your body in a certain way, your muscles are gonna grow and you're gonna aesthetically change.
Yeah, absolutely.
But like its main concern is, did you perform this exercise efficiently? Did you move this way in this movement? And did you move this weight the most efficient way possible, the fastest way possible, the most reps, this, you know?
Yeah.
It's all about athletic performance and less about, did you look good doing it, you know?
Right. That's why I like strongman and like powerlifting, because I'm not a CrossFit fan. I've made that very clear.
Yeah.
Which is fine. I still I think it's impressive what like those people fucking do.
Mhm.
You people.
My people. I'm a baby CrossFitter, but I
like,
hope I'm accepted in the community.
I like that. I like the idea that powerlifting and strongman is more about like what you're physically capable of doing, not how you look.
Yeah.
Granted, I don't think it's good to like eat like shit just to be a powerlifter either. Sorry, Tyler.
I don't think you eat like shit when you're a powerlifter. I think they just justify the caloric intake a little bit more than other sports.
Yeah.
But and again, I want to reiterate that I'm not talking shit about bodybuilding. I think a lot of people like recently have been like, oh, you know, like bodybuilding isn't toxic, that kind of stuff. But like, and I'm not saying that it is for me. I'm so appreciative of bodybuilding because it taught me how to lift. It taught me how to change my body. Like what I really like about bodybuilding is the fact that it's cause and effect. You do this workout, you do this many reps, you do this kind of workout, you eat this many calories, you do this much cardio, you burn this much calories.
Yeah.
This plus this equals this. You are going to see cause and effect.
Yeah.
And I really like that. I really, really like that. And a lot of people resonate with bodybuilding because it's always progressing, always like adding, you know, like I said, always can be better. And a lot of people have a lot of eating disorders that bodybuilding has helped them cure because it's cause and effect. Like you do this happens.
Right.
And I love that. But what I think bodybuilding also does is it exposes your mental weaknesses. You know, for me at least, that's what it did.
Yeah.
Like for me, I've been secure in myself. Of course I have insecurities, but what it exposed for me is like, it just accentuated all of my insecurities about myself. Like I said, I was a week out from my show, had a full 8-pack, and I was looking at myself and I said, you fat fuck. You know, like it plays games with you. Yeah. Like I said, because literally, my advice was to not make comparisons, right? We literally have what's called comparisons on stage. Like you do this, you know, certain pose so that they can compare you against all the other girls doing that pose. Who looks better doing that pose?
Right.
And that's great. That's the sport. It's amazing. I genuinely love it. But currently, where I'm at, I need to appreciate the body that I have, and I haven't been recently.
Yeah.
And so that's why I'm doing all these things to practice, you know,
I think that's
loving
good.
myself in its current state. So
And to challenge yourself to something new.
it is.
Like,
it is very challenging. I'm like, I'm in these CrossFit workouts, and I'm like huffing and puffing, and all these people are just doing it, you know, like picking it up, and I'm just like, I swear, I work out. I swear. I
like,
swear.
See? You want to watch me flex?
I am fit. I promise. I'm like, no. Like it's awesome. It's a different challenge. It's amazing. Constantly challenge yourself. Challenge the demon in your head telling you aren't good enough. You know?
Yeah. CrossFit's something different. Like I said, I've never competed and I'm not going to, but I like what you're saying, like A plus B equals C. Like I have grown a ton.
Yeah.
And I still learn new things every time I go to the gym. Because I make myself. Like if you just go do the same shit every day, you're not gonna learn anything. But that's how you keep it fun and exciting and challenging.
I want to jump back to daily affirmations if you're okay with that.
Yeah.
So I have like I said, I think they're silly. I do them, but I still have trouble making myself do them. If you're somebody that's looking to get into daily affirmations, what would you recommend starting with? Like, what do you say to yourself in the morning? Like, because you're a fan of them.
Yeah.
Like with me, like my friends have been helping me with this. They're like, okay, well, say 3 things you like about yourself, and then say 3 things you like about yourself that have nothing to do with your physical appearance.
Yeah.
And then say 3 things that you are proud that you've accomplished. Stuff like that. What would you recommend daily affirmation wise?
I literally, in my notepad, have a list. I mean, I couldn't tell you how long it is of affirmations I used to say to myself while walking on the treadmill in the gym in the morning. I would verbally say it. I would like pick a treadmill like not next to anybody, and I would read it. And
do you have any examples you could give us?
So like one of the things I like about daily affirmations is I don't necessarily like to, because I'm not staying stagnant, I don't like to pick things that are necessarily current, because I think I'm pretty self-aware. Are you picking your CrossFit shit on my thing? Look, CrossFit. I see it. She's picking her. Oh my god.
I should skin fall off. Sorry,
Oh my
people
God.
listening, you don't get to
You
see.
should watch the YouTube video. That's so gross.
It's a habit at this point. It's like my skin is sloughing off. No big
It's
deal.
pretty gross.
No. Continue.
Okay.
Daily affirmations.
So I don't like to necessarily say things that I'm currently doing because I'm pretty accurate and on it. Like I'm truthful with myself about where I'm at. But mine is more so like I like to say, so like before I started my coffee company, I said I'm a business owner. I said that to myself
Manifestation.
daily. Yeah, but it was also like something that like I will be, and it's like it was like giving myself the confidence to be that person. So it's still an affirmation.
Yeah.
You know, I used to, and I haven't been good at saying these things, but I would tell myself that I am a great partner to have in a relationship.
I like that.
Yeah.
Because you genuinely believe that you are, or you want to be in the future. Because I feel like you're currently manifesting. When I do daily affirmations, like you say you're good and you're confident currently, I'm not. And so like when somebody says to say 3 things you like about yourself, it takes me a second. It genuinely takes me a second. Because you start off like, oh, I like my eye color. It's green. It's beautiful. You know, that kind of thing. Like that's easy to say. But if you say, okay, say 3 things about yourself that you like about yourself that have nothing to do with physical appearance. I'm like, oh, okay. I really like that I have a strong work ethic. I work really hard. I like that I'm reliable. When my friends come to me and they expect something done, I'm gonna get it done for them. You know, that kind of thing. It's like, what do you like? It's hard to think of 3 things you like about yourself physically, 3 things you like about yourself that have nothing to do with physical appearance, and then whatever affirmations you've chosen, you know, to put for yourself. It's hard. It's challenging.
Are we doing it right now?
I just did 2, so you should do 2.
Okay. Non-physical?
Non-physical.
Okay. So I like that I'm honest.
Yeah. Brutally. I love that about her, but just if you meet Anna, be prepared.
Man, I know I'm a little rough. I'm not for everybody. That's fine with me. But I like it.
I do too.
I'm working on my delivery, but I like that it physically pains me to be dishonest. I like that when I tell someone else I'm going to do something, I'm going to do it.
Yeah. Dependability for sure.
Yeah.
Because I think you and I are big on the power of the word. Power of your word. Like your spoken word is power. And if you say you're going to do, that's one of my biggest pet peeves. Jumping back to pet peeves podcast, just kidding. My biggest pet peeve is if somebody says they're going to do something and they don't do it, or if they're flaky all the time. Because to me, word is so powerful. To me, like if I've asked you to do something and you said you're going to do it and my head is checked off, done, I don't think about it again. And if I come back and it's not done, then I think less of you as a person.
Yeah.
Your character is less, in my opinion.
Yeah.
And yours is very, very, like you said, you are dependable.
I mean, it feels like manipulation when someone says something and if they don't follow through. It feels like they're trying to convince you that they are a certain person, but they are in fact not. And to me, that's like, what the fuck is the point? Like, what are you doing?
It sounds even like lying a little bit.
Yeah. Yeah. And I mean, the thing is it like people I think have good intentions when they like make commitments. You know, like people want to do these things and like, yeah, I'll be there. And then life happens and, you know, sure, every once in a while that's acceptable. But like if it happens more often than not, then you begin to develop a reputation and then you're seen as a flake.
Yeah.
And then no one asks you to come out anymore,
Yeah.
or no one asks you to help them anymore, or no one shows up when you need help anymore because you don't fucking put effort in.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's super important.
So that's good. So you said you do 2 non-physical appearance. Yeah.
You want to do a physical one?
Oh, yeah. You go first.
Oh shit.
See, that's the thing, is it's so easy. Like, I could look at you right now and tell you 3 things I like about your physical appearance and 3 things I like not about your physical appearance. It's so easy for me. Snap, snap, snap.
Do it.
I love that you rock short hair because so many people think that physical beauty you have to have long hair. And I don't think that I look good with long hair. I will not cut my hair because in my hair, like girls have long hair and boys have short hair. And that's so not true now. So many guys rock long hair and so many girls rock short hair, and I love that you do.
Nice.
That's one. I really like your smile. We were talking about smile earlier, and I really like your smile because it's so genuine, and it's not only just your teeth, like your entire body smiles. Like your eyes smile, everything smiles.
Yeah.
You were talking about smile lines, and you know, like I love that. Like instantly, you said smiles are contagious, and they are.
They
And
are.
yours is extremely contagious.
Love
I
that.
like when you walk into a room, people look like you have a presence about you. You know, like I like your style. I think you have an aesthetic that's badass as fuck. You're covered in tattoos. You know, like you're like you said, you're a hard ass. When people like you walk into a room, people are not gonna fuck with you because you have this energy about you. Like I could list a million things without even trying about things I like about how
Yeah.
you look and things I like about how you are as a person.
Yeah.
But why is it so hard to look at myself and be like, hey punk, you're cute. You know, it's so hard. And it's like, I want to be as nice to myself as I am to my people.
Yeah.
I want to be a friend to myself.
Okay, now do you.
Okay. Okay. R.I.P.
It's alright.
I like my eye color. I already said that one, but I do. Green is my favorite color, and my eyes are green, and I really like that. I
We
think
both have green eyes,
we
actually.
We do. Green eyes.
So.
I really like that I'm low maintenance with my physical appearance. I know
Yeah.
like low maintenance isn't like a physical quality, but like I don't pluck my eyebrows. I rarely wear makeup. I rarely brush my hair. I know like it sounds bad, but
I
like
don't ever brush
like
my hair.
I'm so
It's bad.
I'm go all the time. My lifestyle and my physical appearance has to be low maintenance. Like
Yeah.
I can't constantly be fixing myself. I can't constantly be worried about fixing myself to look okay. Like I have to be okay looking my natural self because that's what I have time for.
Yeah.
And I like my natural self. I like that I throw my hair in a ponytail and I like how that looks.
Yeah.
Type shit. I don't have to have curled hair. I don't have to have blank, 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 blank. Usually my hair is not looking the greatest, but I'm okay with it.
Yeah, it's
And I
'cause
like
you
that.
fucking rock a hat.
Oh yeah. If you see me without a hat, you are.
It's a weird time.
That's special for the
The day
day.
when you had that little headband on, and I was like, "What's happening?"
I said
buddy?
I'm trying to be different, you know, because in case you want to see it on YouTube. Okay, it's fine. Okay, so that's two. One more thing I like about myself is, I said this earlier, I'm gonna cheat. I really like when I smile, I have little crinkles that come around my eyes, and normally people wouldn't like wrinkles, right? People wouldn't like, oh man, like they don't appreciate that. What I do like about that is I have the exact same wrinkles around my eyes when I smile that my dad has.
Yeah.
And
That's cool.
I love it. Like I literally, like if you look at a picture of me and my dad side by side and we're both smiling, we have the exact same little smile lines around our eyes, and I love that. But I don't know if that's good because I like it because it reminds me of my dad or whatever. But it's something about my physical appearance that I like. That's three things. Your turn.
I like it.
That was hard. I know I'm like emotionally fatigued now. It's fine.
It's gonna be okay.
It's fine.
All right. Am I starting with you or me?
Me.
Okay.
Call me pretty, please.
Oh my god. Okay, well now I can't use the things that you've already said.
Exactly. I'm glad I went first.
Damn it. Okay. So you may not have like badass energy, but you have positive energy. And that's fucking cool. Like every time, and obviously like I'm biased because I'm your friend, but like every time I think a lot of people get excited just seeing you in the gym. Like they're like, hi Kimmy, just like excited because literally, and you know what? If you're listening to this and you're my friend and you've tried to hang out with me and Kimmy, I'm like, back up, man. No, I'm just kidding. But I mean, not really. But maybe we shouldn't have a half a mile.
You can tell the podcast we record in the morning versus the night.
Coffee, wine. So, the positivity is good. Like, you definitely are one of the positive people. You need to work on yourself, being positive to yourself. But you're positive to everyone. And everyone feels that. Like, I think people want to work harder. Like, they want to impress you and make you proud of them. Like, honestly, they're like, I want Kimmy to see what I did. You know, I feel like that. Stop. I'm trying. Okay,
It's hard.
It is hard. I want to say that I also like. I don't want to say the same thing about you, because I like that you fucking rock a hat every day. You fucking look awesome, and like you
That's
fucking
good.
look super cute in your little gym outfit. Like you literally like wear gym outfits all the time. I know it's like trendy to wear gym outfits, but like my boyfriend makes fun of me because I wear belly button shorts.
I like your belly button
If you're
shorts.
listening,
High-waisted is what that means.
they're high-waisted shorts. I don't care. I like them. But my point is, like, not everyone looks good in what they wear apparently to the gym. But, like, rocking a fucking hat and being, like, you are, whether you are truly confident without, like, a ton of makeup or not, like, you appear to be. If it's fake or make it, or you don't have enough time, I don't know what it is. But you don't ever look like you let how you feel about yourself affect how you project onto the world. Does that make sense?
It does. I like that.
Yeah, like, you know, some people are like, oh, I'm having a bad hair day, so like, fuck the world. Like, I'm just gonna treat everyone like shit and be like pissy all morning. It's like, dude, get over it. It's just your hair.
Yeah.
And you're like, fuck it, I'm gonna put on a hat and just roll with it. Also, I don't know why I'm waiting. This is my phone. Your fucking back is full of shit.
Yeah.
Wide as fuck, bro. Like a fucking giant ass semi truck, like
Yeah.
pterodactyl.
Bro. That's good.
Yeah, that's my
like that.
my faves. For me, well, now that I have tattoos on my feet, I like my feet. I didn't like my feet before I had tattoos. I'm not gonna lie.
Cue the comments about feet pics.
I'll be starting a foot OnlyFans soon.
Oh
I'm
my
just- So, no, but really, yeah.
You like your feet?
Did not like them before. Tattoos help, so if you don't like body part, try and tattoo
Cover
it.
If you don't like something about yourself, tattoo it.
I didn't like wearing like sandals before, and now it's like I want to wear like strappy sandals to show off my foot
There
tattoo.
you go.
So I'm like, what's up? I really like, when I'm training hard, I really like my arms. Like my arms and my delts. That's, and I seem to get a compliment on those a lot from women. Because women tend to feel insecure about their arm. Like the jiggle fat and like the fucking, and I love building my delts really big. Because then you get that cut in between your fucking bicep.
Oh,
and
don't get
thighs.
me started about vanity about shoulders. Like,
yeah.
Like I said, I like a girl with a good upper body.
I like my nose. I have a cute nose. It's like, it's cute, and I have a nose ring.
I have a nose ring too, and I literally,
Twins.
I got this nose ring, so, side story, sorry, this has nothing to do with this. So, I got this nose ring because this was my COVID crazy. Like, this was, I got this the second day they released the, what is it, isolation ban. I was in Florida at the time.
Yeah.
It was like, they said you could come out of your house. I said, fuck it, I'm piercing my nose. I said, I don't give a fuck, we're going to get our nose pierced. And the guy I was dating at the time was like, do you want a nose piercing? I said, fuck yeah, I do, I've always wanted one. He was like, you've never talked about it. And I was like, I've always wanted one. I do love it. I'm so happy that I have it because I love it, but I hate my nose. I hate it. I've broken it twice. You can tell when you look at it. I just don't like my nose.
Quit talking shit about yourself.
No, I like it now because I have a ring in it, you know?
Yeah.
Like, I'm like,
Yeah.
it's fine.
So there you go. If you don't like something, tattoo it or pierce it.
There you go. We just solved all the problems.
Oh my god, people are just like covered in jewelry. Point is I'm hoping that awkwardness was to show you guys that you can do it. You can think of positive things. It's
Even if it's awkward and weird.
when I was in my head just now, I was thinking of negative stuff first. All the negative stuff came.
Yeah.
I'm like, what don't I like? What don't I like? I'm like, okay, dig deep. What do I fucking like in there? And
Yeah.
that's why it takes so long.
And it gets easier the more you do it. And then you recognize that your thoughts are going to change from like easy to pick out negative things to easy to pick out positive things.
Yeah.
You know, and that's what we're working on. We're working
Yeah.
on being kinder to ourselves. Like, are you somebody that you would be friends with? If
Yeah.
you talk to your friends the way that you talk to yourself, would you be friends with you?
That's a good one.
I would not be. I'd be like, fuck you, bitch. Like you suck. You know? And I talk to my friends very positively because I love them and I am big. So you were talking about girls compliment you. I'm big on, one, women supporting women, but just if you think of a compliment, tell that person. Like, what is it going to hurt? Like, oh, they might think you're weird. Is that what, like, is holding you back from complimenting somebody?
No, who doesn't like compliments? Everyone likes compliments.
And, like, you compliment somebody and they, whether they show it or not, they will be thinking about that compliment. They're going to only feel good from that compliment. I did a thing, I was telling you about this. I did a thing for 1 year. I committed to, if I thought of a compliment, I had to tell that person. Like, of course, like, if I'm across the room and it'd be, like, weird to run up to them and, like, hey, by the way, I like your hat. Like,
I mean, only if you run like this.
I wouldn't do that. But, like, if I thought of a compliment and I was able to tell that person in that moment, I made myself for 1 year do that.
I love it.
And now I think of compliments to people and it is natural. I have to tell you. Like, there's girls in the gym, I'm like, man, girl, like, I noticed you 6 months ago and, like, I can tell you're putting in the fucking work. Like, you look amazing and I have to tell you that. Like, I have to. So if I would implement that same rule to myself, if I saw something that I liked about myself and I had to look at myself in the mirror and be like, damn, I can tell you're working hard and, like, I can tell that your legs are bigger or more defined. Like, if I thought about that to myself, I would be better.
Yeah.
So that's what we're gonna do.
And you know, the thing is like, so you mentioned my, like, smile and like, I had braces and so I'm not a super, I mean, my smile, it's better than it was, but like, it's not my favorite thing. But it's funny that like, we feel negative towards something that's like someone else sees as like one of our strengths.
Yeah.
I feel that way about my quads. Like, my left quad from my ACL has never been the same. To me, it's all I see. But like, you know, the other day you're like, dude, you're fucking hella quad dominant. And I'm like, yeah, I get it, but like, they're not and then I'm just like into the negative space. I'm like, but they're not what I want them to be like. I'm just like, fine. So it's funny because it doesn't matter what you think is negative. Like, someone else is going to see the positive in it. Yeah.
So I hope these tips help you. I'm active, like I said, it's active practice. I tell myself these things every day and I'm actively working on it. Like you notice, we just struggle to talk kindly to ourselves. So it's going to be a process, but if you recognize the negative thoughts you're having, if you actively challenge those thoughts, if you actively challenge why you're even having those thoughts, or if they're even like relative to what you're negatively thinking, stop making comparisons, avoid a social media's idealized beauty. Yeah,
or like, if you notice that you're looking at like a bunch of social media pages that make you feel like shit,
stop looking at them.
Stop, unfollow. Don't surround yourself. That counts as your friend.
Is perfect.
But that counts as your friend. It's like surrounding yourself. If you're spending every day looking at like this one chick in Florida you don't even know, and she's like hella jacked, it makes you feel tiny. Or it like some dude that like, you know, he's like the perfect husband and like hella strong. If you like the Liver King.
Calling people up on
Oh shit.
It's fine. Liver King, where you at?
No, I'm just saying people probably look at him and like think that he's like someone to idolize, but like average person ain't gonna look like that.
Yeah. So just use these tools to help you. Anyway, if you want to watch us again, we post these podcasts every Monday at 6 a.m.
Yes, thank you for listening. Check out our Instagram. It's Start to Be Great Podcast. We have some personal pages as well that you can follow. But if you want to talk about the show, DM us at the show podcast page on Instagram. My Instagram is Americana.
My personal page is Kimmy_Croson, but if you want to see my fitness page, which does include that post we were talking about with the vulnerability that made me even want to start a podcast, that's Kimmy.fit. And why do we post on 6 a.m. on Mondays, you ask? Well, my favorite quote has to do with sharks and them not giving a fuck that it's Monday. They're around biting shit, chasing stuff, being scary, reminding everybody they're a fucking shark. Well, we're fucking sharks, and sharks don't give a fuck that it's Monday. So, we'll see you next time.
Bye.